Ask that question again. Hello and welcome to
A Couple Codes.
My name is Cody.
And my name is Emily.
And we've been doing the Odin project for 21 weeks.
Nice! Where are you in the curriculum?
I'm working on the final JavaScript project, and I'm actually doing something where I'm splitting up my days between the Odin project and a strategy for learning data structures and algorithms.
Tell me more.
Okay. Well, the data structures and algorithms learning strategy comes from a success story within the Odin project Discord. This person shared how they got their job with the Odin project and how they also supplemented the curriculum with a data structures and algorithms strategy. So they essentially compiled some resources and laid out their plan on how they did that specifically on Reddit. And I'm going to be following that going forward, splitting my day half for the Odin project and half for the strategy. So they actually started, and it seems like a lot of people do this, is that around the final JavaScript project, they start applying for jobs, or they start something like this where they do some supplementally learning with the Odin project. So that's what I'm going to be doing going forward.
And we can put a link to that Reddit post in the description for this video. What has been significant that you've learned this week?
So this week, I figured out that reading and writing in JSON within React doesn't make a lot of sense, especially the writing, because you're not really going to be doing that on a client's computer, writing files like that. I'm not going to be doing that instead of a backend. I'm going to actually be using Firebase, so I actually set up the Firebase this week for one of my forms. It's actually better because now I actually have a backend to interact with for making this project actually functional. I got over myself a bit and actually did what the curriculum taught me to do. So
cool. And what has been most challenging this week?
Most challenging thing is probably the context switching between the Odin project and the data structures and algorithms. It's my first week doing this, so that's kind of expected. I'm switching it up from doing projects and the Odin project all day long to data structures and algorithms.
And he's been doing Twitch live streams also.
Yeah, so I've also been learning how to do that in the mornings, and so I'm doing that while I'm doing the project. So my pace with the project is slowing down a little bit, but I think it's going to be picking up because I'm going to try to be a bit more prepared for those Twitch streams. Just experimenting this week with the streaming, so see where it goes. Where are you in the curriculum, man?
I am 58% of the way through the JavaScript course. So I finished that Knights Travails project. I'm now working on the test-driven development section.
What's something significant that you learned?
The most significant thing has been within the test-driven development section, I learned how to write my own tests. We're using Jest as our test running system, and I can already see the benefits of doing this, and I can think about how this definitely would have helped with my Knights Travails project with just running automated tests, so I didn't have to do as much manual testing in the console.
Yeah, I think that's actually going to be very useful for this final JavaScript project. I actually haven't been doing a lot of test-driven development just because I've been juggling several things at once with it, but I think I'm going to start trying to implement that at least in a minimal level going forward, so I'm not running things over and over and over again.
Now that we're talking about it, I think I'll probably add the Jest setup instructions into that new project guide that I made that's on my GitHub. That way for future projects, I can remember to set it up when I do want to implement test-driven development, which it seems like it's a good way to go for future projects.
So what's the biggest challenge that you had this week?
Definitely finishing the Knights Travails project. That was just a lot. But what was helpful for me was that whenever I did get stuck, first of all, I scrapped my project and started over, I think at least 4 times. I wasn't using Git as often as I think probably would have been helpful for me. So if you're working on that project, I recommend using Git. That way, if you do want to start over, it's not as big of a deal with trying to delete or keep track of your old code. The other thing that helped me was whenever I got stuck, I would go to different YouTube videos or read different articles about the methods I was trying to implement, such as breadth first search or adjacency lists. And just getting these little snippets of different people's explanations and examples for those things really helped me to tie everything together. Well, that is all that we have for today. So thank you for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoy these updates and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to follow along on our web dev journey.
And thanks for tuning in to
A Couple Codes.
All right, I want to show you guys our little coding friend. This is bright, and this is copper.
This is Copper Codes.
He's Copper Codes. He's our good friend, goes on many walks with us, and we have lots of good time. Look, he's very snuggly, very soft in the head,
Hi, puppy.
and also very large, but we love him.